state and spell your name for the court record?
It's Terry Leech, Terryleach.
How are you currently employed?
With the Fairfax County Police.
Are you assigned to a particular unit?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do for that unit?
I'm a detective with the major crime scene unit.
All right. How long have you held that position?
I've been with the crime scene unit for 22 years, with the last 8.5 in major crimes.
All right. Were you employed in that role on February 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On that date, did you respond to an incident at Stablebrook Way?
Yes, ma'am.
Approximately what time did you arrive?
It was approximately 9:44 a.m.
All right. And who was on scene when you arrived, if you recall?
When I got on scene, there was several patrol units, homicide detectives. From my unit, there was Detective Falk, Detective Fortner, Sergeant Fortner now, and Detective Szyminski and myself.
All right. What was your role in this investigation?
I was assigned as the lead crime scene detective.
And what are the general responsibilities of a lead crime scene detective?
The lead crime scene detectives is the primary liaisons between the crime scene section and the lead homicide detective. We're also responsible for managing the scene, delegating out tasks. We also work if there's any needs for any more personnel or equipment. We go with our supervisors. And after we clear scenes, we're responsible for all the evidence handling, documentation. If there's any lab submissions or anything like that, we take care of it.
And that role carries through to today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if we want evidence, it's coming from you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. When you entered the Banfield's primary bedroom on that day, February 24th, 2023, what were your initial observations?
When you first go into the bedroom, on your left-hand side would be I call it a sitting area. It's like a little side room. We're separated from the main bedroom area by a see-through fireplace. In the main room, you had a bed, and it had a nightstand on each side. To your immediate right would be a long dresser with a TV on top of it. On the far wall was a tall dresser. On that same wall as the dresser with the TV was the double doors that led into the primary bathroom, which then had a closet off of it.
Okay. How did you and your team go about documenting this scene?
Once we did our initial walkthrough, we first did photography. We did all our photos, and then I had Detective Szyminski go through with the Faro laser scanner.
All right. Tell me about that Faro laser scanner. What does it do?
The Faro is a laser device, and it sits on top of a tripod. And what it does, it uses LiDAR technology. It will spin in 360 degrees. As it's spinning, it'll do laser measurements. It'll do millions of points of measurement. And then once that's completed, it'll go around one more time, and it'll take photos. Then when we process it back at the office with software developed just for that scanner, it will create 3D models and 2D models. The 2Ds are called orthos, and all that is, it's a bird's eye view of what the scanner built.
You shared one of those orthos with me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'm going to ask at this point in time to admit into evidence Commonwealth's 98 under seal and publish it to the witness and the jury.
All right, no objection, correct? Okay, 98 under seal.
Can you see the Faro on your?
Yes, ma'am. It's the ortho scan of this second floor.
Okay, so help us orient, and it's a really busy picture, you would agree?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot going on because this is an interpretation of what was actually present at the scene from this angle and aerial view. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you can see where I've kind of zoomed us in here to this black rectangle at the top that my cursor is on, what is that?
That's going to be the foyer to the main floor, bottom
Okay.
floor. What happened is why it's black is the Faro is a line of sight.
So it drops down. It's 2 stories, right?
It's a
The
2-story,
foyer's
it's a
wide
very
open.
tall foyer, yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
that's the stairs to the left right there. That would be the
Yep.
stairs coming up from the landing.
Okay, tell me about, on the left of our screen, this bedroom here.
That was the Paris bedroom.
Okay, and if I zoom out a little bit and reorient us, what's going on in this bedroom in the far left lower corner?
That's the Banfield's daughter's room,
Okay, and this middle bedroom?
guest room.
Okay, so taking us back out to the hallway and then shifting over, which, we're gonna do it like that. What room is this?
And that's gonna be the primary suite, primary bedroom.
Okay, and that's the far right of Commonwealth's 98, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In looking at this bedroom, we have a bed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You spoke of a dresser. Is that this object that my cursor is on here?
That's the dresser with the TV on it, ma'am.
Okay. And this area that I'm cursoring over, is that the passageway into the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which would then make this room a bathroom, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now that we've oriented ourselves, was Joe Ryan's body still on scene when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and approximately how long did his body remain on scene while you did your work?
It was there for several hours.
Okay, and is that how long it took you to document the scene?
We had to get a search warrant, doing the scene documentation, waiting for the medical investigator to arrive on scene
Okay. When was his body removed?
later in the
Recall
day. It was
later.
it was that day, but as soon as the medical investigator arrives,
Okay, but
Later in
your
the day.
work continued after his body was removed, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, I'm going to offer exhibits 99
Okay,
through 101 under seal.
all right. And no objection, correct? Okay. 99,
And-
100, and 101 under seal.
Thank you. If they can be shared with the witness and the jury. All right, starting here with Commonwealth's 99. This photo depicts what? What do we see here?
And that's gonna be a photo from the bathroom back out into the main area of the bedroom, and that is Joe Ryan's body.
Okay, is this how the scene looked when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before you had begun processing any of the items that you eventually collected?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Commonwealth's 100, is this a photograph of Joseph Ryan's body?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what observations did you make about his body upon your arrival?
Upon arrival, I was documenting was first that his shirt was pulled up. There was a chest seal on the left side. The hands, right hand was in that position as you see it here, and along with his right hand. The pants were unbuttoned and disheveled in the front. Right leg was straight, and the left leg is underneath the bed with a purple pillow over it.
Did you do any investigation to determine whether or not that was the position of his body when first responders arrived on scene?
Once I had access to the body-worn camera, I watched that to see what the officers originally came into. And when they first came in, the shirt was down and the hands were across his chest.
All right. Looking at this photo around Joseph Ryan's head, what is his head on? Let's start with that.
His head was resting on the dog bed.
Okay, and there's a checkered cloth there as well. Were you able to determine what that was?
Underneath it was a pair of pajama bottoms, that's what I refer to as pajama bottoms, and a pair of black underwear.
All right, and tell me about this blood stain that we see immediately below on this photo, Joseph Ryan's head.
Talking about the one man on the carpet.
Yes.
There's a flow pattern. It flowed from Mr. Ryan's head, flowed across and down onto the floor where it started to pool and collect.
All right. Was there blood anywhere else on Mr. Ryan's body that you observed?
There was blood on his face, hands. There was some on his clothes. There was some on his chest, arms.
All right. Did you notice anything about the bed frame? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit if I can. Here. What is that mark?
Bed frame had chipping. It's a laminate material over the bed frame, and you can see where pieces were broke off. There's this one large piece. And later, when we continued on investigating, you could take your fingers in that area and you could pull the laminate in that area.
I'm going to move you to Commonwealth's 101. Is this another angle of the same area of the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, we see the chip in the bed frame here, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You indicated Joseph Ryan's legs were under the bed.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Judge, I would move to admit photographs 102 through 123.
All right, and there's no objection, correct?
Okay.
All right, 102 to 123 in evidence. Thank you.
All right, looking at Commonwealth's 102. It appears that the scene has changed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what has happened since the last photograph?
Since the last photograph, Joe Ryan's body was removed. The blankets and things that you saw on the floor, they were picked up and moved.
And what did you observe now that the items had been removed on the bed frame itself?
On the bed frame itself, if you come over here to if you're viewing the photo, it'll be on the left-hand side. We found one blood stain on the side of the frame.
All right, I'm going to move then to Commonwealth's 103. Is that the area where you observed the blood stain?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be to the right of the ruler.
We're going to zoom in one more time. 104,
Yes, ma'am.
that's the blood stain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you later send a swab of that suspected blood out for testing as item 71?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Looking at Commonwealth's 105. We're back in time before the items were picked up, but let's talk about those items that you collected. What was in this pile of fabric that we see here?
I had 2 blankets, a sheet, and a towel. The blankets, one was a real dark blue with a white Sherpa on one side. The other blanket was blue on both sides. Sheet was white with stripes, and then you had a towel.
Okay, let's talk about the blue blanket with the white Sherpa. Directing you to Commonwealth's 106. Is this that blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what you've done with it here.
This is back at our facility to document it. I hung it before we could do photos of it and document the blood stains on it. What you see is the top part would be what was near the dresser, and the stuff you see, the stains you see down towards the bottom was what would be towards the foot of the bed.
And those stains appear gray in this photo. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let's look at Commonwealth's 107. Is that the reverse of the blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the Sherpa side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, the dark marks we see, what are those?
Blood stains.
Commonwealth's 108. What is this object?
And that would be the sheet.
Okay, and again, where is this photo taken?
This photo was taken at our facility.
Okay. The marks we see on the sheet, what are those?
More blood stains, ma'am.
All right, and there was a lighter blue blanket you mentioned?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commonwealth's 109. Is this that blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, what did you observe on the blanket?
More blood stains.
Okay, so let's talk about Commonwealth's 110. What is this object?
That's the towel, ma'am.
Okay, so again, where was this towel located?
On the floor with all those bed linens near the foot of the bed.
Did you happen to, in your review of the body worn camera, see where the towel was when first responders arrived?
It was a little bit further away from the bed. When the first responders came, you could see the bed linens and things from firemen, patrol officers trying to do life saving. The linens and stuff started to roll and move towards the bed more.
Was this towel on Christine Banfield?
No, ma'am.
Does this towel have any evidence of heavy staining or blood absorption?
In my opinion, no, ma'am.
So these blankets were moved as the officers addressed Christine Banfield's injuries and attempted to rescue Joe Ryan. Could the blankets that we saw a moment ago have transferred blood to the carpet as they were moved?
Yes,
Were they saturated?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there was a lot of blood on those items,
Yes, ma'am.
could have ended up on the carpet as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So looking at the carpet, can you approximate here where Christine Banfield's body was found? This is Commonwealth's 111.
I use body worn camera. I watched the body worn camera to determine that. And it would be the stain that you see on the right-hand side. That is the vicinity of her head.
What did you find when you removed the carpet relative to these stains?
What I ended up doing was we pulled the carpet back. Our question was we wanted to see how far down the stains would go. And when we did that, we found that the stain on the left-hand side, underneath the carpet is a foam pad, and then you got the subfloor. The blood soaked through the carpet, through the foam pad, and then onto the subfloor and created another stain there. The stain on the right, same scenario, again, it's soaking down through. But when we got to the subfloor, there's just a little stain, a much smaller stain than what we found from the stain on the left-hand side.
So to summarize, there was more blood deposited in the stain on the left-hand side than the right.
Yes, ma'am.
You need your microphone, Mr. Carroll, I cannot hear it.
I would object to Ms. Sand's conclusion as to what the detectives just commented on in terms of her question.
What's the objection?
Well, I believe it's without foundation, and I believe that she's leading.
No, overruled. All right, good, continue.
Let's talk about the areas of the carpet that you had tested. Looking at this photograph, and we'll zoom in just a moment, but did you have either of these two large stains tested?
No, ma'am.
Okay, why not?
When I presented to the state lab with the evidence that I had, they didn't see the probative value in it.
All right. Did they give you any explanation for why?
Because her body was there.
Okay. So looking at Commonwealth's 112, did you take swabs from the stains on the carpet that we see here?
Yes, ma'am. If you take where the scale is at and come below it.
All right, that large
Yes, ma'am.
stamp, if you will.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was that item 42?
That was item 42. I did another swab, which would have been item 43. If you come above the scale, you'll see another stain in there. What I did is I took another sample from the center of it.
And when we're talking about these two stains to distinguish, we've got 43, and the shape of 43 is different from 42. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How would you describe 43 as a stain?
As a stain to me, it was passive blood droplets falling down onto
Okay.
the carpet.
And what was different about 42? What kind of stain was that?
42 was one large concentrated stain.
Thank you. I'm going to direct your attention to Commonwealth's 113. Did you find a knife?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was the knife found?
The knife was found underneath the blankets, between the edge of the blankets and the bed. And the only thing we could see when we arrived was the handle. And the knife was sitting on its backside, so it's blade up. And then the handle is towards the bed.
Did your review of the body worn camera tell you anything about the final position of the knife?
This is not the original position of the knife.
Okay, so what did you observe on body worn? I think we've all seen it too and talked about it, but what did you observe on body worn?
On body worn camera, the blankets were, if you're viewing this photo, the blankets have been more to the left. The knife was completely exposed. And you could see during the life-saving, that officers and firemen stepped on the knife a few times and they got kicked and moved around as they were trying to work.
Okay. Did you collect this item?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you send it to the lab for testing as item 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to have you look at Commonwealth's 114. Is that the knife and the photograph that accompanied it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So let's talk about guns. Commonwealth's 115. Did you observe any weapons at the scene other than the knife?
Yes, ma'am. There was 2 handguns.
Okay, can you describe those 2 items for me?
One gun was a Glock 19M with a light kit on it, and the second one was a Glock 43X.
All right, is this photograph of the 19M?
Yes, ma'am.
And the flashlight, you mentioned the light on it that you said, is that the red ring that we
Yes.
see at the end?
Yes, ma'am. It's the light kit. It's a flashlight underneath the barrel of the gun.
Okay. Were you able to identify who owned that weapon?
It was Mr. Brenden Banfield's duty weapon.
Where was it located upon your arrival?
When I arrived, it was on the left side of the bed, about halfway, resting on its right side.
Again, after reviewing body worn camera, were you able to determine if that gun had been moved?
It was moved, ma'am.
All right, do you know where it was moved from?
It was moved from the front left corner of the bed. It was resting on its left side with the grip portion near the closest to the edge.
Okay, if we're looking at the bed, if I'm standing at the foot of the bed, is it on my right or is it on the left?
Be on your right.
On my right, okay, perfect, thank you. Looking at Commonwealth's 116, orienting myself, this is the primary bed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and on the right hand of this photo, is that where you observed the gun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the body worn camera.
Yes.
Okay, and was there any residue on this sheet?
There was 2 blood stains on that bed. The one on the right near the edge, and then there's another one on the front edge. And that was from medical waste. Because when I picked up that evidence, that when we were clearing off the bed, when I picked up those items, there was blood on them.
Okay, did you send this sheet to the lab for testing?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll show you Commonwealth's 117. Did you make the markings on the photo here?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
red
Well,
that we see? What were you intending to communicate with the markings that you have on the sheet?
I spoke with the state lab about what we were requesting for stains. And because I knew the one was from medical waste, there was no need to process that because we know where it came from, the point of origin. But the one on the right-hand side is the one I wanted. And so I sent this so they could have a reference to what I was talking to them about and showing it to them.
Okay. If you had just sent the big old sheet to the lab without any specifics, what would have been the response?
They would start processing the whole
Okay.
sheet.
All right, thank you. So Commonwealth's 119, what do we see photographed here?
That was more blood spatter on the wall.
Did you swab those items and send them, sorry, that item and send it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am. I took that largest stain you see to the left of the ruler. That's the one I submitted to the lab.
Ms.
Okay, and that was,
I'm sorry, you said 119, but it says 118.
oh, I'm sorry, 118, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Almost 118, I
Okay,
apologize.
That's all right, I just want to make sure. Go ahead, I apologize.
Thank you. And this is now Commonwealth's 119. Is that a closer photograph of the same stain?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and again, that was sent to the lab as item 39.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One more here. Commonwealth's 120. What did you process in this photograph?
This would be the laundry basket. And what we're looking at is in this photo, is the front of that laundry basket. Again, I took a swab of its blood stains on here. And if you go down bottom center, you can see a convergence of 2 stains of blood spatter. And that's where I took the sample for the lab.
All right, and was that sent to the lab as item 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you took another swab of the laundry basket, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And while this photo doesn't necessarily zoom in on it, describe for us from where you took the second swab on the laundry basket.
The second swab would have been on the left-hand side and be the side furthest from the dresser on the curtain side.
All right, and that's Commonwealth's 121 that we're looking at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that went to the lab as item 56, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Commonwealth's 122. What do we see depicted here?
This would be the dog bed once Joe Ryan's body was removed.
And again, that black checkered item was determined to be Christine's pajama bottoms, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I see there's some black fabric to the left as well. What is that?
That's the underwear, ma'am.
Okay. Did you inspect those items?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any observations about them apart from the blood?
Apart from the blood, one pant leg was inside out and the other pant leg had the underwear around it. And if you took the crotch region of the underwear, it was torn, ripped, separated from the other side.
All right. And Judge, if I can terminate the display for just a moment. I'm going to take you back to Commonwealth's 105, which was previously admitted, not under seal. Judge, if this can be displayed to the witness and the jury in the gallery.
Okay.
Detective Leech, there's a piece of black fabric to the left in the photograph near the edge of the bed. What was that?
It was a black shirt.
Okay. Did you make any observations about that shirt other than the fact that it had blood on it?
When we took the shirt and lifted up and was able to document it better, we found that the back of the shirt was completely cut. It wasn't one smooth cut. You could tell it was jagged because you'd have a cut, little pull, cut, pull, and up.
All right. Was it in the center of the shirt that it was cut? Was it to the side?
I'd say center. It was more towards the center.
Okay. And Judge, I'm going to ask to terminate the display. Offer into evidence Commonwealth's 123 and 124 under seal.
All right, and no objection again, correct? 123 and 124 under seal.
All right, Detective Leech, if the court can publish the photos to the jury and the witness. Tell me about this photograph. We see again, we're back to Joseph Ryan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is it that is next to Mr. Ryan's left hip, partially under him?
It would have been a black slide and a shoe, slide on shoe, and a backpack.
All right. Did you search that backpack?
After we finished with Mr. Ryan's body and we were able to move him out of the way, yes.
I'm going to take you to Commonwealth's 124. Is this a zoomed in photo of that bag?
Just trying to show the property that was in it at the time, how it was when we found it.
Okay. So if that's how it was when you found it, did you put anything back into that bag before taking this photo?
No, ma'am, that's exactly how it was.
All right. In your review of the body worn camera, did you see anyone on body worn put anything back into that bag?
Not that I could observe, ma'am.
And Judge, I would now move to admit Commonwealth's 125 and publish to the witness, the jury, and the gallery.
All right, 125 in evidence.
And Judge, I'm going to go ahead and ask to admit from 125 through 151.
Okay. 125 through 151, and there's no objection, correct? Okay.
Should be 151. Okay.
No objection. Okay, so then we have 125 through 151 in evidence. Okay.
All right. So looking at Commonwealth's 125, is this the backpack after you removed the items from it?
Yes, ma'am.
What observations did you make about the backpack?
Once we opened up the backpack, this would be, the photo is showing the back of the pack from the it's the back inside compartment of the backpack, and there was blood spatter on there.
Okay, so if I open the bag with my two hands and spread it wide apart, this is looking inside the bag.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that correct? Okay. And what are those marks?
That's the blood spatter, ma'am.
All right. You placed circles in this photo. Did you make those circles?
That's stitching.
I'm sorry, the red lines.
Oh, the red lines, the circles, yes, ma'am, I did that for again, this was something I sent out to the state lab. And so I wanted to know what I was referencing when I asked for the exam.
Okay. Did you send that to the lab as item 125? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about the contents of the bag, Commonwealth's 126. What did you find inside?
We took the backpack and we laid out everything and did one overall photo as we inventoried through. And what you see is there's like rubber exercise bands, a metal rod with eyelets in it, lubricant, clothespins, a chain with padlocks with the keys in them, a roll of electrical tape, like a COVID mask, an apricot, and then one that I refer to like almost like a gag.
Okay. Commonwealth's 127, is this the receipt that was found in the bag?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Commonwealth's 127, a receipt that was found in the wallet?
That was found in Joe Ryan's wallet.
Yes, okay. And we can see the wallet underneath the receipt, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that wallet listing out personal lubricant, floss sticks, and apricot?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
correct? One apricot? All right, and that receipt is dated the same day of your
It's the same date,
investigation?
yes, ma'am, the 24th.
February 24th, 2023. Okay. Did you find, obviously, this wallet, but anything else outside of the backpack that might have been personal belongings of Mr. Ryan's?
Well, I found his coat. His coat was actually underneath his legs near his buttocks area. We took his coat. We found his car keys in the front right pocket, and his wallet was in the front left pocket.
Okay. You also found zip ties, is that correct?
There was zip ties found on the floor, yes.
Okay. Directing your attention to Commonwealth's 128. Okay, this is an interesting photo. Tell us about it. What do we have here?
This is a sheet that's been suspended and it's being fluoresced with a laser.
Why do you fluoresce a sheet with a laser?
We're looking for body fluids.
And did you find them?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did the sheet come from?
This is the fitted sheet from the au pair's bedroom.
From the au pair's bedroom. This is Juliana's bed sheet, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you mark this item with the body fluids, with the location of the body fluids that you found?
Yes, ma'am. I was going for a lab submission, so I marked those stains that I found for the lab personnel.
All right, and looking at Commonwealth's 129, is this a photograph of the markings that you made on the sheet to identify the
Yes,
body
ma'am.
fluid? Okay. Was that sent to the lab as item 65?
Yes, ma'am.
Turning your attention to Commonwealth's 130, what have you photographed here?
This was Brenden Banfield's clothing.
Okay, and what were the articles of clothing that were collected?
It was a set of his blue jeans, button-down shirt, and a black coat.
And you've put them on a dummy here in approximation to how Mr. Banfield was dressed on the day of the murder, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I used the body-worn camera.
Perfect, okay. What did you do with these items once you had taken this photo?
Some of the coat and the jeans all both went to the state lab.
Did you mark the jacket for the areas that you wish to have tested?
No, ma'am. This is once it came back from the lab.
Aha, all right. So how did you present this item to the lab?
I presented this one. This one was because of the color. It's hard to see the blood and everything on it. I submitted it to the lab. I said, this is gave them a synopsis of what happened, and I just gave them the whole, as a whole, and this is what they marked out.
All right, so those markings that we see were the selections that the lab made for their testing, is that correct?
That would be my understanding, ma'am.
Okay, and this was sent to the lab as item 121, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commonwealth's 132, we see specifically 2 circles, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do we know what the lab tested for there?
They were testing for blood.
Item 133, what is this a photograph of?
It's going to be on Mr. Banfield's blue jeans.
Okay, tell me about the white L's that we see taped to the jeans. What are those?
It was requested by me, requested for me to take and do, it's called road mapping of the stains. And all you simply do is you take the item and you put down the scales in so many distances apart. There was no set distance, but you just want to make sure you got plenty of scales. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a stain there. We're just trying to document to scale the entire object.
Okay, so they're reference points, is that
That'd be
fair?
a way of referring to them, yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did you observe about these pants?
That they had blood stains on them.
All right, any particular staining patterns that you observed?
There
Stood out?
was the blood stains on the knee area. And then there was a particular stain that, someone pointed out and they requested for me to submit that to the lab.
All right, so we're gonna look at Commonwealth's 134. This now has a circle imposed on the photo. Tell me what that circle is indicating.
Again, this is something that's going to the lab. We discussed it. It's obvious with the pants, there's lots of staining. This was the particular stain that the graphs requested to be processed.
Okay, and zoomed in here, tell me about that stain. Was it different than the staining on the knees?
Most of the stains that you saw in the pants were like almost like smears, smudges, like they came in contact with blood. This was droplets.
All right, were there more droplets on the pants?
Yes,
But this was the area that was selected for testing?
yes, ma'am.
And again, that was Commonwealth's 135 that we're looking at for those markings. Taking a look at Commonwealth's 136, tell me about this red circle.
This is on the back of the jeans. It'd be to the left of center, just below the belt line or close to being in the belt line.
And was that item sent along with the other request for testing by the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that one went to the lab as 136. I'm sorry, as all, these were all sent to the lab as 123, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, photo 136, also item 123. Sorry for any confusion. All right, and looking at Commonwealth's 137, what do we have here?
It's that same stain with the drop, just a different angle on it. You're showing it more from the inside the leg outward.
All right, did you have the opportunity to take a look at Mr. Banfield's shoes?
Yes, ma'am.
Commonwealth's 138, are these the shoes that were collected from Mr. Banfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any observations about what was on those shoes?
There was staining on the shoes, on the tops, but there's also staining on the bottom and into the treads.
Commonwealth's 139, what do we have here?
This would be Juliana's left shoe and sock.
Okay, and we're gonna look. Is this the right shoe and sock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you observe blood on the shoes and socks?
There was blood on the shoes. On the shoes, it was primarily around the soles, around the edges of the soles and underneath the shoe. On the socks, there was red staining.
Okay. You sent the socks to the lab as 117 and the shoes as 118, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the staining on the socks, where on the sock was it? Was it on the top of the sock? Was it on the bottom of the sock?
It was in the toe region, the toe area. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily on the top or on the bottom because of, it's like, it looked like it leached a little bit or, some.
All right, and here we have the bottom of the left shoe, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about your observations on this shoe with regards to the location of the blood.
Blood was towards the toe area. Mine was towards the toes. You can also see that the blood went up inside the tread.
That was 141,
I'm
correct?
sorry, yes, Your Honor, that was Commonwealth 141.
Thank you.
Now looking at Commonwealth 142, what were your observations regarding the blood on this shoe?
The shoe, the blood was only really near the bottom edges. It's on the rubber sole part. Wasn't up onto the leathers.
All right, did the socks create a bit of a puzzle for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what did you do to try to answer questions you had about the blood on the socks?
She had blood on her socks and I couldn't figure out how they got there. So I took her shoes, because as you can see from the photo, there's holes, there are air holes for the sneakers. I didn't know if by chance blood might have went down into those holes. So what I ended up doing was I took the shoe, I cut around the sole in the leather part of the shoe so I could lift up and see inside the shoe.
What did you discover upon taking apart the shoes?
There was no staining.
All right, did you send anything else off to the lab? I'm going to show you Commonwealth's 143. What is this?
That's the insert from the left shoe.
Okay, why did you send that to the lab?
That dark area that's circled, and this is the photo that I gave to the lab, they knew what I was talking about. That tested positive for blood.
Okay, and so that was sent to the lab as item 118. It didn't have a separate designation from shoes 118. It went back to the lab as 118. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? Okay. Did Juliana's sweatshirt, t-shirt, or pants have any blood on them?
Not that I could find, ma'am.
All right, let's look at Joseph Ryan's clothing. Commonwealth's 149. This t-shirt, what, if anything, did you observe about the shirt?
It had the blood staining. A lot of it was near the chest area. You can see it's not like any individual stain. Also, if you come down, as you look at the photo, it'll be on the right-hand side. It's right above the G and the H and Howie's name there. There's a defect.
I've zoomed in and I'm aiming my cursor where you're talking. Is that what you observed?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to determine how that defect occurred?
It appeared it was coming from a projectile, from a bullet.
Commonwealth's 150. What do we have here?
This is Joe's pants.
Okay. What did you do with regard to Joe's pants after photographing?
After photographing, we met with the state lab and we discussed different options for processing. On this one, because of the way the pants were situated on his body, I had questions about the zipper button area. The lab recommended an MVAC, but they don't have one. So this item was sent to DNA Labs International to be processed.
All right. And so that was regarding the zipper, the button, and the waistband. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were the jeans sent to any other labs for other testing?
Yes. The right leg was sent to the whole pants was sent to Bodie Laboratories, but we requested the stain on the right pant leg to have a technique done that the state lab doesn't do.
Okay.
And so we sent it to them to have them process it in an attempt to see if we can generate any more evidence out of it.
All right. So Bodie tested the stains on the pant leg and DLI tested the zipper, the button, and the waistband. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you have any other questions about these jeans that could have been answered by the state lab? Or did you feel it was necessary to send them to the other two labs for the specific testing that you've discussed?
This is for the specific testing because those stains, we're just trying to figure out what caused them, what and what formed them.
Okay. All right. Judge, I'm not sure what time the court wanted to take the morning break.
It's a little early still.
It is. My next bit is a little bit lengthy and we can break after that, but it will be approximately 30 minutes. I have video to share with the detective.
The video is your next
Yes.
item. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our morning recess then, and we'll just have to make it through to lunch a little longer, okay? So don't do any outside research and don't talk to anybody, okay? We'll take 15 minutes. Detective, since you're on the stand,
If it has not yet been.
it is in evidence.
All right, wonderful. That can be published. Detective Leech, this is, to back you up just a little bit, we're back on Joe's jeans. We've zoomed in here. You were talking about what specifically was sent to DLI.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain again what we see here and what you asked DLI to test and why?
DLI would be the zipper region in the area of the waistband around the buttons, the button and the buttonhole into the sides of them.
Okay, when you say the zipper, are you talking about the tines on the zipper or the pull?
The whole area, ma'am.
The whole area?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And why did you send that to DLI to be tested? Not
Yeah.
why DLI, but why did you send that to be tested?
Because of the way the pants were positioned on the body to me. When we got there, the pants, you saw in the one photo how the pants were undone and down a little bit in the front. When we rolled Mr. Ryan's body to place him into the body bag, we found that his pants in the back were caught up on his butt. So it was caught up underneath his butt cheeks. And so to me, I didn't know if someone might have tried to manipulate the pants. I don't know. So
Okay.
my job is to find the answers.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. Give me just one moment. This time Commonwealth would offer 152, 153, and 154 into evidence.
And no objection, correct? All right. 152, 153, and 154 in evidence.
All right. So, to your knowledge, was surveillance video collected from the McDonald's restaurant located at 2475 Centerville Road in
Yeah.
Herndon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you see that pictured here on this fantastic Google map?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it's labeled on the map, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you aware of the distance of this McDonald's from the Banfield's home?
From the Banfield's home, there's a couple of different ways to get there, but they're all probably under 3 miles.
Okay, thank you. And Judge, I'm going to move to stipulated video clip 153, Commonwealth's 153. All right, this is the vantage point from the McDonald's drive-thru. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this car creeping in here, that's Mr. Banfield's car, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the timestamp on this video, to your understanding, is that the correct time, 7:18 a.m. on December 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we just saw his car leave the drive-thru, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and that's his car returning to the drive-thru, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we've changed camera angles and we now see Mr. Banfield's car here pulling up to the ordering area. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and changing angles again. We're at the pay window. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And we've changed angles now to the receiving window and exit area. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was a Honda Ridgeline. Now we have Mr. Banfield's car. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. The Hyundai.
Okay. Okay. So from this vantage, if you look in the top left, we see his car pulling out straight from the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to take you back for just 1 second to our map. And I'm putting my cursor here over the drive-through pickup area. Is that your understanding of its location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so we saw his vehicle exit in the direction of my cursor. Is that right? Just pulling straight out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now Commonwealth's 1:53. Our timestamp has moved on to 7:29, so it's been approximately 8 minutes. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we see him,
154.
I'm sorry, 1:54, and we see him pulling into a parking spot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's Mr. Banfield getting out of his car.
Yes, ma'am.
This is called double alibi. Catch me on the drive-through cameras. Now I need y'all to catch.
Okay, we've changed angles and we see him going into, do you understand that to be the bathroom of the McDonald's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's at about 7:29 and 30 seconds-ish. And so I'm gonna try to move this on a little bit. We're gonna go to 7:30. Just kind of advancing it in 30-second increments. He's still in the bathroom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody else has gone in the bathroom. Is that what that looked like? That wasn't him,
Yes.
right? Okay. Okay, and someone's come out of the bathroom area. Still not Mr. Banfield. Okay, we've hit 7:37. So he's been in there for approximately 7 minutes at this point. Do we now see him exiting and on his phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And our camera angle shifts and we follow him still on his phone out to his car. And is it 7:37 and approximately 30 seconds that he's getting in his car, still on the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. He's backing out. And we see his vehicle leave the area, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And again, this angle from the window, you see him drive off, right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then this angle, we see him head out onto the road, presumably towards home. And that's his black Hyundai turning left in the left side of this video.
Yes.
Is that correct? All right. Judge, if we can terminate the display for the moment. All right. Did you have the opportunity, as the guy who keeps all of the evidence, to take possession of Brenden and Juliana's cell phones?
Yes, ma'am, later on in the investigation.
Okay. And you have those here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to ask that these items be marked as Commonwealth's 232 for identification purposes, Brenden Banfield's cell phone, and item 233, again for identification purposes, as Juliana Perez Magalhaes' cell phone. And if I can have those handed to the detective, please.
They're already open. I have a charger. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I will note, I am going to ask him to turn them on so that we can look at the screens. We do not have a way to ensure that they do not make noise in the courtroom if someone were to try to
I
call
understand.
one of the numbers.
I understand.
All right, so let's start with the Android, Mr. Banfield's phone.
Still charging, still powering up, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
It's still powering up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, it's up. It's
All
working.
right, so if we take a look at 232, Your Honor, I'd like to put it on the projector, if I may, please.
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Are you still want it to the witness, or are you going to admit it into evidence this
I
time?
am not going to admit the phone into evidence. Judge, I'd like to have the jury be given the opportunity to look at it, and then I have still photographs taken of each of the screens that I will offer into evidence as 232 A, B, C, D, E, and F.
If it's not in evidence, the jury can't look at it.
I was under the impression that the court would not want the object with its password given to the jury to be able to manipulate for themselves, and so we have photographs of the screens. I can
I mean, you
simply
can enter
show those
evidence.
photographs if there is no objection to moving directly to those items.
Is there any objection just to moving to the photographs?
I've seen this,
Okay, no objection.
Makes
Okay,
it
let's
easy.
just do that
Thank
then.
you. Thank you, Mr. Carroll. So then we are not going to display it. We are simply going to move to the photographs.
We're going to the photographs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry
Dr.
for the
Johnson.
confusion.
That's okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
If I may have the court's indulgence to pull up
Yes,
the
that's
pictures.
fine.
All right. So Judge, at this time, the Commonwealth would move to make Commonwealth 232A, a photograph of Brenden Banfield's phone screen call log.
No objection? No objection to our 232A.
All right, and if I can have that displayed to the witness,
Yes.
the jury, and the gallery. All right, Detective Leech, when you turned on the phone and worked your way over to the call log, is this what you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we can note that it has a record of calls from, at the top, we see February 24th, and then timestamps for each of the received or outgoing calls. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And we see an incoming call from Juliana at 7:37 a.m.
Yes.
We see an outgoing call twice to Christine Banfield at 7:38 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then within the same minute, another outgoing call to Juliana.
Yes.
And then again at 7:42, two more outgoing calls to Christine Banfield, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then after that, it looks like just missed calls
Yes.
during times that we know Mr. Banfield to be interacting with law enforcement. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, if we can terminate, I'll then move to 232B.
Okay.
Although somehow the picture is marked A. This is B, despite its title. All right. If we can then offer into evidence Commonwealth 233, it is 233A.
So not 232B?
Nope, it is 233A.
Okay, 233A.
Yep, 232 being Mr. Banfield's phone, 233 being Juliana Perez Magalhaes' phone.
But 233A.
233A, all right. And if everyone can take a look at this. All right, Detective Leech, is this the call log that shows up when you turn on Juliana's phone?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay, and we can see a handful of calls that occurred on the 24th. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Commonwealth would next offer 233B into evidence.
Any objection to 233B? All right, 233B in
Okay,
evidence.
so here's 233B. We have an outgoing call at 7:36 a.m. that lasted for 5 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
To a contact identified as Christine.
Yes.
Okay. Then 233C would be offered into evidence.
You already had 233B is in evidence.
C, I'm
C,
sorry,
all right.
233C.
C, okay.
Any objection? Mr. Carroll? I'm going to move, I'm sorry? No, I'm about to. Yeah.
right.
Are we still casting?
No.
Okay.
Any objection to 233C?
I'm just going to take a quick look
Okay,
at
sure.
it, Judge.
Yep.
That's it.
Mhm.
Okay, no objection.
All right, 233C.
All right, and if that can be displayed. All right, and this is a call record indicating calls at 7:37 a.m. for 19 seconds and 7:38 a.m. for 47 seconds as an incoming to a contact identified as Brenden. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, the Commonwealth will now move to 233D
233D.
and offer that into evidence.
Any objection? Okay, no objection.
And if that could be shared. Detective Leech, this is an outgoing call from Juliana's phone to 911 at 7:47 that lasted 7 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay. And Commonwealth's 233E.
Any objection to 233E?
No, Your Honor.
All right, E in evidence.
Okay. This phone call shows a missed call from a 703-877-3038. Do you know that to be the 911 direct number or the exchange?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is a call from 911 back to Juliana's call that was missed according to the phone. Is that correct?
According to the phone line,
According
yes,
to the
ma'am.
phone. Okay. I'll now move to Commonwealth's 233F.
Any objection to F?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 233F in evidence.
And I'd ask that be published. This is our last one, I promise. This is a log of calls to 911. We have a canceled call at 7:48, a canceled call at 7:49, and then an 8-minute outgoing call from Juliana's phone at 8:02 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your Honor, I do not believe I have any additional questions for this witness.
Can I
Clarify exhibits?
I have a question. Well, 144 through 148, you asked to be admitted in evidence, which we admitted in evidence, but I don't have any, you didn't display any 144 through 148.
If I can have the court's indulgence for just one moment.
Sure.
Judge, I would withdraw the request for 144 through 148.
All right, so withdrawn 144 through 148. Okay, now we're fine. Okay, thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
To do the pictures? Yeah, just let me know.
Good morning, Detective Leech.
Good morning, sir.
I just have a few questions for you. And I think I'm just going to kind of go backwards from where we ended up with regard to the pictures, if that's all right.
Yes, sir.
You raised, you actually decided, I believe, that DNA Labs International was going to be included in the examination of the zipper area and the pants area. And I think you had said something about it. They had tools that the DFS doesn't have.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so were you the one who made the decision that DLI was where this was going to go?
I met with the state lab. I was out at their facility, spoke with them, showed them what we had, and they actually recommended using the MVAC for that process.
Okay, and the MVAC is designed to pick up finer particles, is that right?
The MVAC is like a wet vac you would use in your house. It uses moisture in a vacuum, so it injects the moisture and sucks that moisture back up.
Okay.
And it's used for DNA collection.
And that's something that Fairfax County Police nor DFS has the ability to do?
Not at that time, we did not, no,
Is
sir.
that so that's the only reason why DLI would be brought in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then were their samples then, if you know, were they then analyzed by them or were they analyzed by DFS?
I would not know that, sir. That's for the examiners, the
Okay.
lab people, sir.
Okay. So in conjunction with DFS, you decided that this was a resource that we needed to kind of find the opportunity for and get them to do what the MVAC.
Yeah, we wanted an area process, and with the recommendation of the lab,
Okay.
we went through DLI.
Now, I didn't quite catch I guess you had suspicions because in the zipper region, it appeared that the pants were being opened the way they were left when you found them.
When we arrived on scene, as you saw through the photos, his pants were undone, the zipper was down, and the pants were pulled down slightly. And we were trying to determine why that was, and
And that was pulled down on the backside, so,
On the backside of the pants, if you're facing a person, it angled from the front down towards the back. And the back pants, the top of the jeans were underneath his buttocks.
okay. And that caused significant enough concern that you had to go to that area?
It was an answer, what I was trying to answer that question is why the pants were like that, and if they were, who did it?
Okay. Now, item number 135. So just so it's clear for the jury, the picture's number is 135, but you were also talking about 123 when we were in the middle of that. That's actually the number for the sample that went to the Division of Forensic Science, correct?
Which item was 135?
It said, it was the one that you said the graphs told you to go and get.
The graphs.
Graphs.
Yes.
And so that would have been relating to the genes of Joe Ryan, I believe.
There's the
Do you
genes of
mind-
the,
Sorry?
I think 135 I have is the genes of the defendant. But
Oh, I'm sorry, genes of Brenden Banfield.
If Your Honor wishes, I can.
did you want to see the picture?
Yes, I think
Okay,
that, I think the witness probably would be.
okay, that's fine.
Please.
This is the picture 135 that you were discussing?
Yes, sir, that was a stain on Mr. Banfield's pants.
And those circled stains, you're saying to the back of the pants?
That's on the front leg, front right
Okay,
leg.
front right leg, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so, had these pants already been sent to the Department of Forensic Science prior to this submission?
No, sir.
Okay, so these were left until such time as the graph said, we need to know what that is.
Yes.
Okay, and did, and so they went ahead and you sent that to the Division of Forensic Science and then it was analyzed?
Yes, they requested me to take and submit it to the state lab. I contacted the state lab, explained the situation to them, and they were willing to accept them.
Okay, and are you the one who decides, as a general rule, what's getting tested, or is it the lab that decides what's going to get tested?
It will be the lab, sir.
Okay, and in this situation, had you made, prior to getting the guidance from the graphs, had you made the decision that this was not something that you wanted to get tested?
It's not that I didn't want to get it tested, sir. As we progress through the investigation, new evidence, new questions come about, and we try to answer those. And so when we got to the pants, this question came up,
Okay,
and I said, I thought it was a good suggestion, and we submitted it.
and so what time, in the timeline of getting to today, when was that sent on to the lab? Do you know?
That was, I'd have to refer to my notes to give you an exact date on that one,
Do you
sir.
have access to those?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me.
According to the request for laboratory examination, I submitted them to the state lab on 5/15/2024.
5/15/2024.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And were there any detectives involved in the decision in that situation, other than yourself?
My supervisors were aware, the homicide detectives were,
Okay.
and there was a discussion.
Who was your lead in the homicide section at that point?
Lead homicide detective,
Yeah, who were you keeping informed?
at that time would have been Detective Goodell.
Detective Goodell?
Yes.
Okay. Had Detective Bryant already left at that point?
Yes, Detective Bryan and Detective Goodell were basically team working it.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Now, I had a couple of other questions. So just to kind of go a little further into it, the state, when you bring a pile of evidence there, the state lab's going to determine what they're willing to test, correct?
We don't bring the evidence to them initially, no, sir.
So you have a discussion with them and say, this is the evidence we have. We're thinking about bringing it to you.
Yes.
And then the discussion occurs.
We go, like on this particular case, we went out there, met with them, myself, homicide detective. We discuss what we have, we show them what we have. We seek any suggestions or thoughts from them. We tell them what we would like to submit, and then they will go through that, and then they'll let us know what they will accept.
Okay, so they're the final authority.
Yes, sir.
And so if something hasn't been tested that you might have wanted, they explain to you why that wasn't going to happen and it didn't get tested.
They have their reasons, sir.
Okay.
I can't speak for them.
And so if someone who wasn't privy to that conversation, the only way we can know that they've asserted their authority is that something wasn't tested.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I just have a couple of questions regarding some of the other things that you've testified to. Bear with me. Now, did you take into account the injuries of the people as you found out in the investigation as to some of these stains that you observed?
Could you clarify that question, sir?
Did you take into account the injuries of the two people who were injured and were contributors to blood stains and blood spatter and things like that?
On this case, yes, sir. It's because we had two people with wounds and injuries.
Okay.
And that was Christine Banfield and Joe Ryan.
Now, when you look at the initial body camera, I think it might have been Officer Baumler's. Did you look at that?
I looked at several body worn cameras, sir.
So the first one in into the room.
The very first officer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think that along with what we've heard of the 911, you've heard that too, correct?
I didn't listen to the tape, sir.
Okay. Christine Banfield was on her side and was asked to do that by the 911 operator before first responders came. Would that account for the larger and deeper blood stains that you've described that were near the bed area where you say it was her?
Well, she was found on body worn camera away from the bed on her left side facing the bathroom with her head closest to that tall dresser.
Right. And did you know that she was rolled over?
Once I saw the body worn camera.
Okay. Now, the carpet area near Christine's body that you've identified, it's a large stain that you've talked about.
Yes.
Was that tested for blood?
No, sir.
Okay. And that's what you were talking about was soaked all the way through?
That was soaked only, the stain closest to the bed, sir.
Yeah.
Was the one that soaked all the way through the pad down to the subfloor, had the larger stain on the subfloor.
Okay.
The one where Christine was found, it did soak through, but not as much volume. And the stain that was on the wood of the subfloor was significantly smaller than the original stain on the top of the carpet.
Okay. And was the significant stain larger than the other stain? Was that tested?
No, sir.
Okay. And so just so I'm clear, so the stain, as you looked at the picture that you observed today, the larger stain that went through to the subfloor was the one next to the corner of the bed.
Yes.
Do you want to see that picture, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
111, I believe.
Let me,
I'll also pull up 111.
Okay, there we go.
Mr. Carroll, the picture on the screen, if you want to.
yes, yes. So I'm looking at the picture in the same direction you're looking.
Yes,
The
sir.
one that just so I'm correct, the one that you indicated had the larger stains that went all the way to the floorboard was the stain near the bedpost of the bed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the one that you've testified was not tested.
To make it easier to show for you, my notes, that stain that you're looking at, I designated as blood stain 1. Bloodstain 2 is going to be the one closer to the dresser.
Yes.
Bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2, neither were sent to the lab for processing.
Okay. And so we're not sure who the contributor of that blood on bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2 is.
No, sir,
We don't have any confirmation through DFS.
we don't have DNA forensic, but we have body worn camera showing her body position.
Okay. Now, do you know where Mr. Ryan, Joe Ryan, was located in the room when he was shot, based upon your
No, sir.
examination?
No, sir, I know where his body was at when it fell.
Okay. And that was the one near the dog bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible if he was, Mr. Ryan was shot at the foot of the bed, which is where those stains are, that the blood would be in the same area?
If that's where he was shot, it could be, yes, sir.
Okay. But there's no way of knowing that.
No, sir.
Okay. If Joe's, Ryan's blood was on the carpet in the area that we've just talked about, and an object was placed on that carpet, could, depending on whose blood it is, could that blood transfer to any item that was put on that area? That makes sense?
No, it didn't, sir. If you could clarify, please.
So if an object was put in this area where we have the two blood stains, we
Yes,
don't have to say who they are because we don't know. But if there was an object that was put there, could that, those blood stains with the magnitude of them, could that transfer to whatever object that is?
So what you're asking me, sir, if I'm clear, is if an object is put down in one of those blood stains that's picked up and then moved and put into another location, could it transfer those blood?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay.
possible, sir.
Do you have, in terms of your, I know you only have a limited kind of focus in this case, but do you have any idea whether my client is a right-handed shooter or a left-handed shooter?
When I documented his property that was brought to me from that was collected at the hospital, he had his holster on the right side and was a right-hand draw holster.
And that would indicate he's a right-handed shooter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you saw when the original responders arrived, isn't it true that he was tending to Christine down on his knees, and you would have, the original first responders were coming to him from his right side, correct?
As they approached into the room, that would be correct, sir.
Okay.
Because he was on his knees facing the bathroom. So as they approach, they would approach Christine's feet, and as they would move upward, it'd be to his right.
Okay. And at that point in the, I strike that. Brendan's gun had blood on it, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there any way in your investigation to know where that blood came from?
No, sir.
If it had been sitting in that large and deep blood stain that we just talked about, could that have transferred to the gun?
That's possible, yes, sir.
Okay. Was the blood on the gun tested?
No, sir.
Okay. Was that an issue that was of concern to Fairfax County Police, or was it up to the lab to not test it?
Objection calls for speculation, given that phrasing of the question.
I'll sustain it if you want to rephrase your question.
Okay.
Mr. Carroll.
Who made the decision as to testing that particular item for blood?
It came to the state lab, sir.
Okay. So it was submitted to the state lab. Was there a request from Fairfax County Police, or is it just after talking to the state lab, they said, we're not going to do that?
Excuse me, the gun was originally sent to the state lab for firearms. And part of the policies is as my understanding with the state lab is, once a weapon goes through firearms testing, they will not do the DNA testing on it.
And would that be because it was contaminated?
This contamination issues is my understanding. Again, sir, that's my understanding. The lab personnel would be the best that's their field of expertise.
Okay. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate your field of expertise. And so, did this particular gun, before it was sent on to firearms, was it tested for hair or fibers or anything like that?
It was all done by visual, sir.
Okay.
I took the weapon and I documented and looked at it.
And did you see any hair or fibers
No, sir.
on the gun?
Not just the blood stain, sir.
Okay. Now, did you encounter carpet fiber in your crime scene?
We encountered carpet fiber and dog hair.
Carpet fiber and dog hair?
Yes, sir.
And were they analyzed to say, oh, this is carbon fiber and this is dog hair, or just eyeballed it?
I'm using your term, I eyeballed it. I observed it, looked at it, and documented it. And it was discussed with the lab.
Okay. And I'm not suggesting, I'm not trying to be
No,
quippy with eyeballing, just you observed it. And obviously there's a dog bed there, so that probably is not a bad conclusion, but we really don't know what's fiber and what's dog hair.
no, sir.
Okay. Now, the cell phones that we were just talking about, I think we saw the screenshots of them. So it would be Juliana's cell phone. Was there blood on Juliana's cell phone? Do you know?
I was not the original person who collected them, sir.
Okay. But it came to you guys.
The phones were, once they were collected by the detectives, went to computer forensics.
Okay. Gotcha. So you've never, other than just looking at what you saw today, you've never had the phone?
Just collecting the evidence. When I say collecting, the evidence, once computer forensics and everybody was done with it, it came to me. And then I would take it and add it into my inventory and then take it to the property room. So that, I think what you're asking is, did I ever physically open it up and go through them? No, I did not.
Okay. So you wouldn't know if there's blood on there or not?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't have any further questions,
All
Judge.
right, redirect. All right, is this witness subject to recall? Yes. All right, is he subject to recall? Okay, so you're good to go. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. Have a good day. All right, your next witness?
The Commonwealth will call Matthew Niederreiter.
Could you turn your microphone on because I didn't quite hear the name?
Commonwealth would call Matthew Niederreiter.
Thank you. Matthew Niederreiter.
I don't think they did it. Yeah, they did with me. Okay.
I'm gonna have just a second to get it set back up.